After nearly 30 years, the official bat of Major League Baseball is no longer a Louisville Slugger. As of 2025, that honor belongs to Marucci, a company built on American soil, by American hands, that didn't exist until three guys started shaping bats in a Baton Rouge garage in 2004. This is a story about American manufacturing, who kept it alive, who let it go, and who quietly took over the sport. For more than a century before that, Louisville Slugger was practically another word for baseball bat. The lumber babe Ruth and Hank Aaron swung. Those bats were carved from white ash, the classic American timber that defined the game for generations. But somewhere along the way, the most American bat there was stopped being fully American. Louisville Slugger shipped its metal bat production to China in 2008. In 2015, the family sold the brand to Wilson for $70 million. And today, its parent company is controlled from overseas. So this is the question. If the biggest name in American baseball bats isn't really American anymore, who is? Who still turns a big league bat on U.S. soil? The answer is 5 makers, most of them born in garages and small-town mills. And they didn't just hang on, they took over the major leagues. To understand what was lost, start with how big this name once was. In 1884, a teenager named Bud Hillerich turned a piece of white ash into a bat for a Louisville star named Pete Browning. That workshop became Hickory and Bradsby, and for the next century, Louisville Slugger wasn't really a brand, it was the default. Ruth, Gehrig, Aaron, Jeter all swung one. Then cost accounting caught up with the romance. In 2008, Louisville Slugger closed its plant in Ontario, California, a factory that made its aluminum and composite bats and employed just 42 people, and moved that work to China. The company didn't hide the reasoning. All of our competitors had already moved production offshore, an executive said, and we had to do the same to remain competitive. It was a difficult decision, but one we had little choice but to make. The bigger break came in 2015. After 130 years of family ownership, Hickory and Bradsby sold the Louisville Slugger brand to Wilson Sporting Goods for $70 million. Money the family said it needed to pay down debt after years of losing ground to competitors like Rawlings and DeMarini, whose bats had steadily claimed roster space in clubhouses across the league. Here's the honest part. The wooden bats never left. The downtown Louisville factory still turns out around 2 million bats a year, roughly 50,000 of them for big leaguers, with a few hundred people on the floor. But the family kept only the machinery. The name belonged to Wilson now, and by 2019 so did the parent company to China. Amer Sports, which owns Wilson, was taken private by a consortium led by Anta Sports. Between Anta, the private equity firm Fountain Vest Holdings, and Tencent, Chinese investors controlled nearly 80% of it. Also in that ownership circle, Chip Wilson, the Lululemon founder, who joined the Amer Sports consortium, putting the name behind Babe Ruth's bat in the same corporate family as yoga pants. The last blow was the quietest. After the 2024 season, Major League Baseball ended the deal that had made Louisville Slugger its official bat, and handed the title to an American upstart instead. By opening day 2026, the most storied name in the sport had slipped to 4th in actual big league use. passed even by a small company from Tennessee. So who is the UP start that took the crown? Start in a backyard in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In 2002, an LSU athletic trainer named Jack Marucci went looking for a small wooden bat for his 7-year-old son, Gino. When he couldn't find one, he bought a second-hand lathe for $88 and turned one himself, next to the wiffle ball field in his yard. Gino's teammates wanted their own. Then, in 2004, two former big leaguers rehabbing at LSU, pitcher Kurt Ainsworth and infielder Joe Lawrence, picked up one of Jack's bats, took a swing, and saw a business. That year, the three of them started Marucci. From the beginning, they cut their bats from maple, the dense, hard wood that had been taking over the majors since Barry Bonds made it famous, and later added birch for players who wanted something between maple's stiffness and ash's flex. 20 years later, that $88 hobby is the most used bat in Major League Baseball. Marucci passed Louisville Slugger outright, and in 2017 it grew again by buying Victus. A rival started in a Pennsylvania garage in 2012 by a group of players and craftsmen who wanted to build bats by hand, one order at a time. Victus is now run out of King of Prussia, just outside Philadelphia. Victus, now Marucci's second brand under the same roof, is the shop behind the viral torpedo bats, the thick-barreled, redistributed mass design that pushed right up against MLB Rule 3.02, the regulation governing bat dimensions, and sparked a rules conversation across the sport. Those bats swing under roughly a quarter of big league hitters on any given night. Between its two labels, Marucci accounts for well over 40% of the bats in the majors. And here's the part that closes the loop. For the 2025 season, Major League Baseball named Marucci and Victus its official bats. The exact title it stripped from Louisville Slugger. A company that didn't exist a generation ago, still cutting and sanding its bats on American soil, now sits where the 100-year-old icon used to. It started with a dad, a lathe, and $88. Marucci gets the headlines, but it isn't alone. Behind it is a whole tier of small American shops that never had a China option to begin with. They were too small, too local, too handmade. In Goodlettsville, Tennessee, Old Hickory Bat Company has been turning wood since 1999. It's the bat Mike Trout swings, and by 2026 it had done something quietly remarkable. It passed Louisville Slugger in big league usage, sitting around 13% of hitters, a company a fraction of Slugger's age, ahead of the legend. In Shirley, Maine, a town of barely 200 people, an hour from the Canadian border, Dovetail Bats makes lumber for the majors. In 2019, Pete Alonso swung a dovetail to 53 home runs and the all-time MLB rookie record, then won back-to-back home run derbies with Maine-made wood. In Plain City, Ohio, Phoenix Bats started in 1996, when a woodworker named Charlie Trudeau was asked to turn 1860s-style bats for a historical society on his old lathe. He went pro in 2000. Today, Phoenix Bats sit in the Hall of Fame. And in Norwalk, Connecticut, Tucci Lumber, founded in 2009 by former pro Peter Tucci, has grown into the 5th most used bat in the majors, swung by more than 100 big leaguers. Tucci cuts in maple and ash, ships to order, and has never needed a factory in Shenzhen to do it. None of these shops is a giant, Add them all up and you still don't equal the old Louisville Slugger. But that's the point. American bat-making didn't die when the biggest name went overseas. It scattered into garages, sheds, and small-town mills, and kept the game supplied from home. So who makes America's baseball bats now? Not the name on the museum in Louisville, at least not the way it used to. That factory still runs, and the wood bats are still real. But the brand answers to Wilson, and Wilson answers to a Chinese-led consortium. Anta, Fountain Vest Holdings, Tencent, Chip Wilson, half a world away. The bats that actually define the modern game come from somewhere else now. From Marucci, a Baton Rouge trainer's $88 lathe that grew until it could buy the Pennsylvania garage, now making the sport's most talked-about bat. From a Tennessee company Mike Trout trusts. From a Maine town of 200 that armed a record-setting rookie, an Ohio woodworker who started with museum replicas, and a Connecticut ex-pro who built the 5th most used bat in the majors. Here's the strange, hopeful math of it. The giant left, and the game didn't skip a beat, because a handful of smaller Americans were already standing there, lathes running. Louisville Slugger taught the country that heritage alone doesn't keep a factory home. These shops are proving the flip side, that if the work is worth doing, someone here will keep doing it. The question was never whether America could still make a baseball bat. It's whether we'd notice who does.